Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have brought in another new face and another former member of the New York Jets secondary, as they have agreed to terms with Bryce Hall on a one-year deal. Now, firstly, thank goodness I got the visiting video out late last night because it led to an eventual signing, which is good. But secondly, I'm going to be repeating a lot of the points that I made in that video, which is, firstly off the bat, Bryce Hall, still a pretty young, big, physical cornerback. 6'1", 202 pounds, is going to be 27 years old by the start of the upcoming season. And whenever you look at his career as a whole, in 2020, only played in 8 games, only started in 7. In 2021, he was the starter for the entire year for the New York Jets, played and started in all 17 games. Then in 2022 and in 2023, only ended up playing in 14 games, only started 2 of those 14 games that he played in. But overall for his career, he's got 122 tackles, 2 quarterback hits, 5 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, 21 passes defended, 16 in 2021, 1 fumble recovered, and 1 touchdown in his career. Also a half sack. Can't forget about that. But Bryce Hall is an interesting guy because of his build, because of his size. He does have some former starting ability in the NFL. You take a look at his overall snap numbers, and in 2020 and in 2021, he played 93% of the defensive snaps in 2020 for the New York Jets. He played in 98% of the defensive snaps in 2021 for the New York Jets. Then, in 2022 and in 2023, things transitioned. He became more of a special teams player. 47% of the special teams snaps for the Jets in 2022, 53% of the special teams snaps for the Jets in 2023. So, this is a guy that has a lot of versatility as a potential starter at outside corner and even a special teams player as well, which I think makes him valuable, which makes him a fine addition to the Buccaneers roster. I want to take a look at Pro Football Focus just so we can see his numbers again, go over some of his coverage stats, or I guess I should say his Pro Football Focus numbers. I know this isn't the be-all, end-all of signings and whatnot. I personally don't believe it is, but it is still fun to look at. So in 2023, he had a player grade of 66.4. In 2022, his grade was a 41.8. In 2021, it was a 63.2. And in 2020, it was a 59.9. So overall, more times than not, he's had a good grade of Pro Football Focus. And you take a look at his stats, he's got the starting experience in there as well. So I do wonder if this is going to be a signing that is going to push possibly Zion McCollum for a starting cornerback spot opposite Jamel Dean. We talked about how after the trading of Carlton Davis, the Buccaneers could look to some other options in free agency or in the NFL draft for some competition at that other starting cornerback position. Maybe Bryce Hall is going to be one of those guys who competes for that second cornerback job. He has already had that role going back to 2021. And hey, while Todd Bowles wasn't there with the Jets during this entire time, by the way, it was a combination of Robert Saleh and Adam Gase. But, hey, still have some ties to the New York Jets. Still has some ties to Jordan Whitehead, who was brought in, by the way, from the New York Jets also, which I know he was obviously with the Bucs before then, but you guys know what I mean. These two players, Bryce Hall and Jordan Whitehead, were both part of the same Jets secondary for the past couple of seasons. The Jets defense that was very good, by the way. So, there's a lot of connections there. And I'm going to be curious to see, because I like Bryce Hall's size. I like his ability. And I think that he could be one of those low risk, ends up being a high reward type of signing if he does end up being a starting outside cornerback for this team and does end up playing well, or at the very least ends up just being a quality depth cornerback, maybe a guy that does rotate in with Zion McCollum, or maybe plays nickel. I don't know. I mean, he's played left cornerback pretty much his entire career, so I'm going to be interested to see how they move Bryce Hall around, what his role ends up being for this Buccaneers team, and ultimately what he can do to compete with Zion McCollum and maybe some of the other guys that are going to be in that mix for that outside cornerback job. What do you guys think about Bryce Hall? Let me know your thoughts and opinions about it down in the comments section below. I would love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.